first market going to Flint, so back closer to home. And I was still wearing the wigs and blah, blah, blah. And I remember one day I said, I hate these wigs. They just don't define me. And I went to my news director in Flint and I asked her, I said, hey, I'm ready to wear my real hair. And she was like, go for it. And then I have not looked back since that day. And I'm very grateful that if I need, you know, in the summer, I can wear my braids. Everyone has been accepting, but my short hair, it you know, it grows. You know, whatever happens, I'm just grateful that I did it that day. And I recognized that the wigs were not me. No shade to anyone who wears them, but for me personally, I just felt like it was just fake, and that's not who I am. So
and same, I had a news director too, and I wore a wash and go, y'all. I just washed my hair and went on air, and I was so nervous. But my news director, the night before, I had texted her. I said, hey, I got a hair appointment. But it was like so hot in Buffalo. That's where I was. It was like triple digits, and I had been live the whole day or whatever. And I said, hey, I'm going to wash my hair, and this is how it's going to look tomorrow. And she was a woman. She said, girl, whatever you're comfortable with. And I said, thank you so much. And the next day, I wore it. And that's actually how I started to wear it curly, because I did that. And then I was like, okay, let me try. And I like did Flexi Rod set and everything. And yeah, I never looked back. But shout out to my new, because I did ask her. I just didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure, like, should I ask? Do I need to? And I'm sure some people were like, you didn't need to ask. But I was like, no, I just felt like, I actually felt she would understand. She was an Italian woman. She wore her hair straight, curly sometimes. Like, I was like, oh, she'll get it.
She'll get it.
Yeah.
But Sunita is right, though. Thank God, though, we are to a point where, you know, we can see different representations in media. Because at least when I was coming up, and I'm sure, we didn't see it. Like, when I was growing up, all I saw was Oprah and Carol Simpson. That was it. You know, and it was just like, now you turn on the TV, you turn on the local news, and you see people that reflect the community. You see people that look like you. And I love it when I go out in the community and I hear people say that. You know, I see young women and mothers come up to me and they're like, my daughter wears glasses because of you. You know, or she wears her afro because of you. And we take little photos and I'm just like, oh, you know, that just warms my heart. You know, that warms my heart.
Yeah, because for every negative comment, that's what you remember. It's like, that's all that matters.
So how do you all brush off the negative comments?
Oh, I laugh.
And especially, I mean, because you get them, I'm sure you get them often. And Shannon, you're on social media.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're on social media. You all are on social media. So besides just that, you're getting it on social media. And I'm sure you probably get it in person. There's some people.
Oh, yeah. Well, some people get like those backhanded comments. Hey,
you look so much better in person than you do on TV. That is the number one thing.
That's
what
not
am
a
I supposed to do
compliment.
with that comment?
I know.
So what are you trying to say? You look so much better in person than you do on TV. Or I thought, yo, you look so much smaller in person. The camera puts, you know, weight on you. These are things that you have to learn how to deal with. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. Everyone who starts in this business, when you first start in front of the camera, your feelings get hurt.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt about it, because you don't have the thick skin yet. That there are some things in this industry only time will teach you. You're not gonna get it from college. You're not in J school. No. There are some things that you're missing that only time will give you. And one of those is your thick skin. You will learn how to take the comments, eat the meat, spit out the bones. Because if you let those comments penetrate too deep, then you're questioning who you are in front of the camera. Because I'm trying to not do this because Susie from Parma said I do this, and I'm trying not to do that because Joe from Brecksville said I do that. You can't have all that in your head. So in the beginning, it's gonna mess you up a little bit. I cried a lot when I first got in front of TV. But as you go along, you learn how to get comfortable in yourself, and then you learn how to read comments. Some of them are constructive, and I do need to change some things. And then the ones that aren't, they roll off of you now instead of penetrating. But in the beginning, yes, you're going to get your feelings hurt. Period. I mean, you just have, you got to wait till your skin gets tough enough to do it, because anybody who gets in front of that camera, you're a target. And you got to understand that before you do it. You're a target.
You pick and choose. We get emails. We see the feedback. I mean, you know, recently I try to kill people with kindness. You know, and someone I replied back, she did not like my Ruby Woo lipstick. She did not like my afro. I mean, she sent an email from Avon Lake and was just like, this DEI hire with her red lipstick and her afro. And I said, bless your heart. Thank you for watching. And I just kept repeating it and repeating it. Do you know that woman ended up writing me a thank you card and replied and apologized to me? and apologized to me, a handwritten note, and was like, I am so sorry. I was going through this. And I have it on my desk. I just kept killing her with kindness.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I was going to say, what people fail to realize, and I do say this in a very nice way, is that there are a lot of things they don't teach us in journalism school, and how to wear your hair and what looks best on you on air. They don't really teach that. When I was coming up in journalism school, it was put a blazer on. That was it. It wasn't, oh, green is your color, or this is your color, or this is your color foundation. So I tell people, like, you have to remember, most people, we don't grow up knowing how to do makeup. You just learn trial by error, and there are no makeup classes in journalism school.
No.
You learning that on your first day of your first job in a market. So I always tell people, like, hey, if you are like, wow, her makeup's looking kind of crazy, maybe suggest, in a nice way, but maybe be like, hey, I know some makeup artists. Or if you're one, say, I could do your makeup for free, because nobody's trying to pay for it anyway. It's just like, do those kind of things, because